A lot of people forget about the cost of home ownership outside of just your mortgage payment, right?
Yeah.
With rent.
Maintenance.
There we go.
Upkeep.
Right?
That slapped me in the face a little bit. And I think that's why at that time we were so attracted to new construction because they're like, use our lender. You'll get this much.
Yeah.
What's cooking on the back end? Why are you giving me money if I use you? And then you sell my mortgage off.
Y'all want the real truth?
I mean, I
want
you
what
to talk.
truth you're allowed to give. Because I want to understand it. Why it's like,
because sometimes it's not always a deal.
Use our lender. I'll give you $5,000 down.
Yeah, it is. Sometimes it isn't always a deal. I've seen loan estimates, and I've had viral posts that went crazy on social media when I've shown loan estimates of relatives and friends who come to me and go, "Hey, I'm buying a new construction home, and these numbers aren't making sense." And I'm like, "Okay, what's not making sense here? They're giving me $10,000-$20,000." But I feel like I'm still spending too much money. Like, what's going on? And I'm like, okay, give me the loan estimate. And I look at the loan estimate, and they're that same $20,000 that they're giving them, they're charging them that in origination.
And it's not illegal to do that.
Yeah.
So this is almost like a sales tactic to get you in and just get a loan with this company. If
you look at it, really, the builder and the lender are working in cahoots with each other. Hence why a lot of times when you go in new construction, they tell you to go with their lender. Yes. They tell you to go with their inspector. They tell you to go with their attorney. Right? And everything. The appraiser might as well be involved with it, but they're not supposed to be. But somehow
it always
appraises.
For $50,000 more.
Exactly.
Right.
So
what?
Right.
Yeah. So, but then we also have to think builders are in cahoots with the government.
True. I was going to, yeah.
Because
they're getting kickbacks as well.
They have to build more homes. To keep the market.
Incentives.
That's the reality of it.
Yeah.
So would you advise? He said it, not me.
Yeah.
Okay. But it's like now, like, if I had this knowledge, maybe I wouldn't have been so gung-ho on a new construction because it just seems like that was the only way at the time to get that much help without doing Georgia Dream or NACA or something like that. That was like the way to go. Maybe people should consider, instead of just jumping into new construction for the perk of what they think is a financial benefit, they can talk to a lender and maybe still get similar numbers without getting that. Because I honestly feel like why people don't buy a home is because they can't give you, even with an FHA, 3.5% down and closing costs. So I think it's a money thing. And that's where I think the wealth gap comes in with African Americans owning homes.
We didn't even talk about the NAR settlement.
Oh, wait, hold on.
You said because you said
we're going a lot. I'm like, I'm trying to get into what you're saying. Wait a minute. There's a lot going on.
But it's like people maybe shouldn't think that new construction is the only way to get a loan.
I need to go back like maybe 2 topics before we go back to the new construction topic.
Yeah.
I want to say this too. Earning a home is a privilege.
Facts.
It's not something that you're obligated to do in your lifetime. It's a blessing if you're able to, but earning a home is a privilege. And earning a home is an investment as well. You know what I mean? Although you want to have your, I guess your American dream come true, whether you want to have a beautiful kitchen, a nice yard with the picket fence, whatever that may be. But we got to be careful too, because what I told you earlier today, I feel like home prices are going to be skyrocketing so much that America may be the government may be the next renter landlord per se. You know what I mean?
I would hate that.
Me too. It's happening. They're building communities as we speak. Well, I don't want to. Anyway,
are you going to talk about how they're building brand new houses and they're all for rent?
Yeah.
That's a problem.
And who's buying them?
That's a problem.
And who's building them?
And that doesn't fix the issue with us having high rent.
Yeah.
Anyway. What were you going to say about this lawsuit?
The NAR lawsuit.
The NAR lawsuit.
I'm ready.
So the NAR settlement, because you mentioned people struggle with coming with down payment closing costs, right? It's like, okay, you got to bring down 3.5%, but then I also got to pay this closing cost. Well, let's say, for example, the closing cost is still covered by the seller, because in a lot of instances, especially in this market right now where it's kind of slowing down, the seller will cover your closing costs. But now there's been a settlement that's went out, and you could probably speak to this better than I can. But now, possibly as a home buyer, you need to come in with the expectation that if the seller is not willing to pay your agent,
paying difference,
you will have to pay that difference, or you will have
That
to
is
pay them
correct.
out of pocket.
That is correct.
So you want to talk about making home ownership less attainable.
And who is that going to affect? First time home buyers.
100%.
That's
more
gonna
than
affect-
more than
Y'all,
anybody.
that's
going to affect
not
first time
cool.
home buyers.
This is a problem.
Right.
I'm telling you all, I seriously believe this is a huge explanation for the wealth gap. There's a wealth gap.
100%.
And
yeah.
I don't know if a good majority of African Americans that rent homes, 30% of their income goes to rent. Okay, we all know common math. That leaves you 70% of your money. 70% of your money to take care of maybe kids, right?
100%.
Food,
Mm-hmm.
car insurance, gas,
Yeah.
health insurance,
Yep.
phone bill. Where does that give you room to save money? You know how long it takes to save 20 G's if you're making $60,000 a year and 30% of your income is going?
Yeah.
I don't know if there's like, places people can go, like to maybe local boards or something, and advocate for more fairness. Like, I don't know what are the steps that we as a people can take to try to get more of these
Lower
settlements
prices?
or bring things to light that are unfair
Well,
in
there's
real estate and lending.
I can't speak to lending, but I was going to say there are homes that are trying. Well, there are builders that are literally trying, though. There are builders that are trying to build affordable housing in different areas, especially teachers, first responders, military men can be able to buy a house. You know what I mean? But it's a lot of things going on in the market right now where I don't think it's moving in a positive direction where it's going to be easier per se to buy a house, because there are programs that are coming, but there are also programs that are being taken away. And I don't want to say, hey, just do 100% financing to everyone either, because you got to think there's pros and cons to that too. Because sometimes if you do 100% financing, you may be getting a higher interest rate.
Definitely.
There's some type of effect in that in some way, shape, or form.